Ladies and gentlemen, every morning you have a choice to let the day control you or to control your day. Imagine waking up and speaking words that not only bring peace to your soul but also shift your entire reality. What if I told you that the very first thing you say to God each morning could be the key to unlocking a day filled with peace, power, and miracles? Stay with me through this speech because the simple declaration I'm about to share isn't just about prayer. It's about setting a divine intention that can change your life from the moment you open your eyes. If you want to stop feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or powerless, and instead step into a day of victory and peace, this message is for you. Let's begin. Wake up. The world is waiting. Challenges are coming, and your heart may already feel heavy with the weight of yesterday's worries. But before you reach for your phone, before your mind races to your to-do list, before any noise or distraction claims your attention, speak first to God. Say these words. Thank you, God, for this new day. I surrender it into your hands. Guide my thoughts, my words, and my actions. Fill me with your peace and strength. Let your will be done in my life today. Why say this first? Because your words have power. The first words you speak each day shape the atmosphere around you and influence the path you walk. When you wake up and connect with God, you are acknowledging that you are not alone, that your day is guided by something greater than yourself. This simple act of surrender releases the burden of carrying everything alone. It reminds your heart that no matter how hard yesterday was, today is a fresh start. It opens your mind to divine wisdom and your spirit to supernatural peace. This is not just a routine. It's a declaration of faith and trust. When you make this your first spoken prayer, you invite calm into chaos, light into darkness, and hope into despair. You remind yourself that your strength is renewed every morning and that you can face whatever comes with courage. Remember, the power of your morning words does not stop with the prayer itself. Carry the intention behind those words throughout the day. When anxiety creeps in, recall your surrender. When challenges rise, remember your request for guidance and strength. Today, as you wake up, choose to say these words. Make it a habit. Watch how your perspective changes, how your spirit lifts, and how doors begin to open. You don't have to wait for perfect circumstances to connect with God. Start now. Wake up, say this prayer, and walk into your day knowing you are divinely supported. Let this be the moment you change the way you begin every day, with faith, gratitude, and surrender. The power of the first words you speak each morning cannot be overstated. From the moment you open your eyes, you enter a sacred space of potential. A new day, untouched and unshaped, waiting for you to decide how it will unfold. What you say first, whether aloud or silently in your heart, has an unseen but profound influence on your mindset, emotions, and the course of your entire day. These initial words set the tone, like a seed planted in fertile soil, determining whether your day will grow in peace, clarity, and purpose, or whether it will be clouded by stress, negativity, and confusion. Consider this: when you wake up, your mind is like a blank canvas, free from the clutter of the day's experiences. Your spirit is sensitive, receptive, and open This moment is the most powerful opportunity to plant the right intentions through your words. Your first words are essentially the foundation on which everything else will build. If you greet the day with anxious thoughts, complaints, or worries, you are in effect programming your subconscious to look for reasons to feel overwhelmed or defeated. On the other hand, when you begin by speaking words of gratitude, surrender, and faith, you create an inner environment that encourages calm, strength, and resilience. There is a spiritual principle at work here that many have discovered through practice. Words are creative forces. They carry energy and intention. When you address God or the divine first thing in the morning, you align yourself with a higher power that embodies wisdom, peace, and unconditional love. This alignment allows you to invite qualities beyond your own immediate reach. Qualities like patience in difficulty, clarity amid confusion, and hope when circumstances seem bleak. Your first spoken words, therefore, are not just routine greetings. They are declarations of trust and surrender. By speaking them, you open a channel for divine influence to shape your thoughts and actions. This idea is supported by psychological and neurological research as well. When you speak positively or affirmatively upon waking, your brain begins to activate neural pathways associated with optimism and calm. The language you use has a direct effect on your emotional state, influencing how you perceive challenges and respond to them. For instance, starting the day with thank you cultivates gratitude, a state that has been shown to reduce stress and increase overall well-being. Saying, "Guide me today," invites a mindset of openness and flexibility, which helps you navigate unexpected situations more smoothly. Moreover, the first words you say impact not just your internal world, but also your external interactions. When you begin the day with peace and confidence, it shows in your demeanor and tone. You become more patient with others, more composed in stressful situations, and more focused on your priorities. In contrast, if your morning starts with negativity or fear, it can create a ripple effect, coloring every conversation and decision with tension or distraction. By consciously choosing what you say first, you influence not only your mood, but also the energy you bring into your relationships and work. But it's also important to understand that your first words carry a message to your subconscious mind, which governs much of your behavior. Your subconscious mind does not differentiate between spoken words and deeply felt thoughts. When you express surrender and trust in your first words, you are programming your subconscious to seek solutions, to remain calm under pressure, and to remain connected to a source of inner strength. This programming happens quietly but powerfully throughout the day, shaping your habits and reaction. Another significant aspect of the power in your first words is the shift it creates in responsibility and control. Many people wake up feeling burdened by the weight of their problems, believing they must carry everything alone. But when you start by speaking to God or the divine, you symbolically hand over those burdens to a higher power. This act of surrender doesn't mean giving up or ignoring your challenges. Rather, it means acknowledging that you have support beyond what you can see, and frees your mind from unnecessary stress and creates space for solutions to emerge. The practice of intentionally choosing your first words is also a form of mindfulness. It draws your attention away from autopilot or habit-driven reactions. Instead of waking up and immediately reacting to your environment or worries, you pause and set a conscious intention for your day. This moment of awareness grounds you, reminding you of your purpose and your connection to something greater. It builds a habit of self-reflection and spiritual openness that can transform how you experience not just mornings, but every part of your life. Furthermore, the first words you say carry the power to shape your identity. Each morning when you declare that you are guided, supported, and filled with peace, you are reinforcing a version of yourself that is strong, calm, and resilient. Over time, this daily affirmation reshapes your self-perception and empowers you to face life's difficulties with courage. Your words are like a sculptor's tools, gradually carving out a more confident and hopeful you. In conclusion, waking up and speaking intentional words to God first thing is far more than a religious ritual. It is a profound spiritual and psychological practice that harnesses the creative power of language to set your day and ultimately your life on a positive trajectory. Your first words are the first step in choosing peace over anxiety, faith over fear, and connection over isolation. They invite divine guidance into your day, calm your spirit, and empower your mind. If you learn to wake up every day with this practice, you'll find that your life begins to unfold with greater ease, grace, and joy. So tomorrow morning, before your mind floods with tasks, worries, or distractions, take a moment to speak words of gratitude, surrender, and trust. Watch how this simple yet powerful practice transforms not only your day, but your entire outlook on life. Connecting with divine guidance at the very start of your day is one of the most transformative actions you can take. It's not simply about saying a prayer or uttering words. It's about establishing a profound, living relationship with a higher power that can lead you through the uncertainties, challenges, and opportunities you face. When you begin your morning by reaching out to God, you are inviting a force greater than yourself to walk beside you, to illuminate your path, and to provide wisdom beyond your own understanding. This connection becomes a source of strength and clarity that influences everything you do throughout the day. Every person wakes up with a variety of decisions to make and countless situations to navigate. Without guidance, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, lost, or reactive. But when you intentionally open yourself to divine guidance, you are stepping into a place of trust and alignment. You acknowledge that you do not have to rely solely on your own knowledge, resources, or strength. Instead, you make space for insight that comes from a deeper, wiser source. This act of connecting first thing in the morning creates a foundation that supports you in making choices that serve your highest good. Divine guidance is often subtle and quiet. It may not come in thunderous declarations, but rather through gentle nudges, intuition, or moments of peace amid chaos. When you start the day by inviting this guidance, you train yourself to be more receptive to these subtle signals. Your awareness sharpens, and you become more attuned to recognizing opportunities, avoiding pitfalls, and understanding the deeper meaning behind events that occur. Over time, this connection becomes a steady compass, helping you steer your life with confidence and grace. This connection also helps you maintain perspective. Life is filled with ups and downs, unexpected twists, and challenges that can easily shake your faith or overwhelm your emotions. However, when you begin the day by seeking divine guidance, you place yourself in a frame of mind that transcends immediate circumstances. You remind yourself that there is a bigger picture, a greater plan unfolding even if it's not immediately clear. This trust allows you to face difficulties with patience and courage, knowing you are not alone and that help is always available. Moreover, connecting with divine guidance is a deeply calming and reassuring practice. It counters the rush, stress, and anxiety that often characterize mornings. Instead of waking up with a racing mind full of worries about what must be done, you start with a moment of stillness and communication. This pause nurtures your spirit and centers your emotions. It helps you step into the day grounded, calm, and focused. The peace that flows from this connection becomes a shield against the stressors you will inevitably encounter. Another profound benefit of seeking divine guidance first thing in the morning is the clarity it provides in setting your priorities. Life offers endless distractions and demands, and it's easy to get pulled in many directions. When you consciously connect with a higher power, you invite clarity to understand what truly matters. This clarity can help you align your actions with your deepest values and purpose. Instead of reacting to what feels urgent or external pressures, you act from a place of wisdom and intention. Your day becomes more productive and meaningful because you are guided by insight rather than impulse. This connection also fosters humility and openness. When you reach out to divine guidance, you acknowledge that you do not have all the answers and that you are willing to receive help. This openness can soften your heart and mind, making you more flexible and less rigid in your thinking. It encourages you to listen more deeply to others and to your own intuition and to the subtle messages around you. This attitude can improve your relationships and decision-making as you become less defensive and more collaborative. Additionally, connecting with divine guidance cultivates a sense of gratitude and trust. As you start your day by inviting this connection, you naturally begin to appreciate the presence of a benevolent force in your life. This gratitude nourishes your spirit and creates a positive feedback loop where you begin to notice more blessings and reasons for hope throughout the day. Trust grows, reducing fear and doubt, which often block progress and peace. You begin to experience life with a greater sense of security and optimism. The morning connection also empowers you to face challenges with resilience. When obstacles arise, as they inevitably do, your established connection serves as a source of encouragement. You remember that you are supported, and this remembrance gives you strength to persevere. Instead of succumbing to despair or frustration, you approach problems with a calm mind and a hopeful heart, knowing you are guided through every difficulty. In practical terms, connecting with divine guidance each morning can take many forms. A prayer, a quiet meditation, heartfelt conversation, or simply a moment of intentional awareness. The form is less important than the sincerity and consistency of the connection. When you build this habit, it becomes a lifeline you can return to throughout your day whenever you need reassurance or direction. It's like having a trusted counselor and friend available at all times. Ultimately, beginning your day by connecting with divine guidance is an act of empowerment. It reminds you that you are not powerless in the face of life's uncertainties. Instead, you participate in a dynamic relationship that nurtures your growth and well-being. This connection elevates your entire experience of life, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities for grace and wisdom. The peace and clarity you gain become your daily companions, shaping not only what you do, but how you feel and who you are becoming. In summary, connecting with divine guidance first thing in the morning is a transformative practice that opens you to wisdom beyond yourself, provides peace amid chaos, clarifies your priorities, and empowers you to face life with confidence and hope. It is a conscious choice to align your day with a higher purpose and a deeper truth. When you make this connection a habit, you will find that no matter what your day brings, you have a steady source of light and direction guiding your every step. Starting the day with gratitude and surrender is a powerful practice that can completely transform how you experience life. When you wake up and choose to focus on thankfulness, you are deliberately shifting your mind away from scarcity, lack, or frustration and toward abundance, joy, and acceptance. Gratitude is not just a polite habit. It's a profound spiritual and psychological force that shapes your reality. Coupled with surrender, the conscious act of letting go and trusting a higher plan. This practice becomes a foundation for peace, resilience, and growth throughout your day. Gratitude awakens your heart to the blessings that are already present, even before you get out of bed. In those quiet first moments of consciousness, when the world is still calm, acknowledging the good things in your life, your breath, your health, a safe place to sleep, grounds you in a sense of sufficiency. It is an antidote to the tendency to focus on what is missing or what went wrong. When you begin your day with this mindset, you send a signal to your brain to look for more reasons to feel grateful. This ripple effect changes your entire outlook, making you more aware of kindness, opportunities, and beauty around you. Surrender is the natural companion to gratitude. While gratitude celebrates what is, surrender acknowledges what is beyond your control. It is the act of releasing the tight grip on outcomes, plans, and worries, and entrusting your day and life to a higher wisdom. Surrender does not mean giving up or passivity. It means trusting that the universe or God has a bigger perspective than you do. When you surrender, you open yourself to receive help, guidance, and unexpected blessings. You move from resistance into flow, allowing life to unfold without the heavy burden of trying to control every detail. Together, gratitude and surrender create a powerful harmony. Gratitude roots you in the present moment, filling you with appreciation for what is, while surrender opens the door to future possibilities, inviting peace and confidence in the unfolding process. This combination helps dissolve anxiety and fear that often accompany uncertainty. Instead of waking up anxious about the day ahead, you cultivate a calm assurance that whatever happens, you are supported and surrounded by goodness. There is also a deep spiritual truth in beginning the day with gratitude and surrender. It honors your relationship with God or the divine. By thanking this higher power first thing in the morning, you recognize that you are not alone. You acknowledge a source of love, wisdom, and strength that is greater than your individual self. This recognition invites a sacred connection that nurtures your soul and sets the tone for how you engage with the world. It becomes an expression of faith that carries you through challenges and joys alike. Psychologically, starting the day with gratitude rewires your brain to favor positive emotions. Studies show that gratitude increases the production of serotonin and dopamine, neurotransmitters associated with happiness and well-being. When you make gratitude a daily practice, your overall mood improves. Surrender further enhances this effect by reducing the fight or flight response triggered by stress, replacing it with relaxation and openness. The mind-body connection means that this spiritual practice has very real physical benefits, helping you maintain balance in the midst of life's storm. In practical terms, gratitude and surrender can be simple yet profound. You might begin your day by silently listing 3 things you are grateful for, such as the gift of a new day, the love of family, or the chance to learn and grow. Then you might say a short phrase of surrender like, "I release my worries into your hands," or "I trust the path you have for me today." These intentional words serve as anchors, reminding you throughout the day to return to this mindset of appreciation and trust. Starting with gratitude and surrender also reshapes your attitude toward problems and setbacks. Instead of reacting with frustration or resistance when difficulties arise, you remember that every experience, even the challenging ones, contains lessons and opportunities. Gratitude helps you see the silver lining, while surrender keeps you from being overwhelmed by trying to force things to happen your way. This perspective nurtures patience and perseverance, which are essential for long-term growth and fulfillment. Furthermore, the practice of gratitude and surrender encourages humility. It invites you to acknowledge that life is not entirely within your control and that there is wisdom beyond your own understanding. This humility is not weakness, it is strength born from trust. It frees you from the exhausting illusion that you must fix everything yourself and opens your heart to receiving help, healing, and inspiration. Humility also softens your interactions with others, allowing you to approach relationships with kindness and empathy. Another profound effect of starting your day this way is the deep sense of peace it cultivates. Peace is not just the absence of conflict, but a positive state of calm, centeredness, and joy. When you begin with gratitude, you fill yourself with positive energy. When you add surrender, you release tension and resistance. Together they create an inner environment where peace can thrive. This peace becomes your anchor throughout the day, helping you remain steady no matter what challenges come your way. In summary, starting your day with gratitude and surrender is a practice that can elevate every aspect of your life. It transforms your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from anxiety to peace, from control to trust. It nurtures your connection to the divine and enhances your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. By making this practice a daily habit, you set a powerful tone for your day that ripples into your decisions, relationships, and experiences. These simple acts of giving thanks and letting go hold the key to a life lived with greater joy, resilience, and grace. The words you speak first thing in the morning hold incredible power. They are not just sounds or casual expressions, but seeds that plant the energy and direction for your entire day. The way you begin your day with spoken words influences your mindset, emotions, and actions. These words shape your inner dialogue and set the tone for how you experience the world around you. When you wake up and intentionally speak words of faith, hope, and purpose, you create a blueprint for success, peace, and fulfillment. This is why what you say to yourself and to God first thing each morning matters more than you may realize. Speaking positive, intentional words is a form of self-empowerment. It is an act of claiming control over your thoughts and emotions before the external world starts to impose its challenges. The early morning is a unique time when your mind is fresh and your spirit is open. Your words at this moment have a profound impact because they influence the neural pathways being activated in your brain. When you say uplifting and encouraging things, you reinforce positive mental patterns that build confidence and resilience. Conversely, if your words are negative or doubtful, you lay a foundation for stress, fear, and uncertainty that can follow you all day. Words are creative forces. They have the ability to manifest realities because they influence your beliefs, attitudes, and ultimately your behaviors. When you start your day by declaring peace, strength, and clarity, you are effectively programming your subconscious to look for evidence of those qualities throughout the day. This is not mere wishful thinking, but a practical alignment of your internal state with the outcomes you desire. Your spoken words act as affirmations that focus your mind and attract circumstances that correspond to your declarations. This is why many spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of speaking prayers or affirmations upon waking. The act of speaking to God or the divine first thing in the morning is also a profound spiritual practice. It is a way of acknowledging your dependence on a higher power and inviting divine assistance in your life. When you articulate your needs, hopes, and gratitude out loud, you engage in a conversation that nurtures your faith and strengthens your spiritual connection. This dialogue reminds you that you are not alone in your journey and that there is a loving presence available to guide, protect, and empower you. Speaking these words aloud makes your intention clear and demonstrates your readiness to receive. Moreover, the words you speak in the morning create an emotional resonance that can lift your spirit or weigh it down. Words carry vibration, energy that affects your mood and outlook. Speaking words of encouragement and hope elevates your emotional state, making you more optimistic and energetic. This emotional upliftment has a tangible impact on your health, relationships, and productivity. It helps you approach tasks with enthusiasm and interact with others from a place of kindness and patience. On the other hand, starting with negative or fearful words can trigger stress hormones, reduce your immune response, and make your day more difficult. There is also a psychological dimension to the power of spoken words. When you verbalize your intentions or affirmations, you engage multiple senses. Hearing, speaking, and sometimes even seeing the words in your mind. This multisensory engagement strengthens your focus and commitment to your goals. It transforms vague desires into concrete plans. When you hear yourself say, "Today, I will be patient, calm, and productive," your brain begins to align your thoughts and behaviors with that statement. This helps you overcome procrastination and self-doubt, turning aspirations into reality. Another important aspect is how spoken words influence your environment. The energy you carry through your words affects how others perceive and respond to you. When you start your day speaking with confidence and positivity, you radiate that energy outward. This can create ripple effects in your interactions, inspiring cooperation, respect, and harmony. People are naturally drawn to those who speak with conviction and hope. Your words can inspire others and even create opportunities that might not have appeared otherwise. The first words you say also function as a form of self-identity shaping. They define who you are in that moment and who you are becoming. If you begin with words of faith and purpose, you are choosing to identify as someone who is resilient, hopeful, and capable. This self-definition influences your choices and habits throughout the day. It encourages you to act in ways that are consistent with this identity, reinforcing a positive feedback loop of growth and success. Words, therefore, are not just expressions, but declarations of your inner truth and potential. It is crucial to recognize that the words you speak are not just about optimism, but about truth and authenticity. Speaking to God or the divine should come from the heart, honest and sincere. It's okay to acknowledge fears, doubts, or needs. The power lies in bringing these honest emotions into the light and then choosing to move forward with faith. Authentic spoken words create a sacred space where healing, transformation, and empowerment can take place. This openness invites grace and breakthroughs in areas of your life where you may have felt stuck. Practically, this means taking a few moments every morning to consciously choose your words. You might say a prayer, a personal affirmation, or a simple statement of intention that aligns with your values and desires. This practice is a commitment to yourself to start your day consciously rather than reactively. It helps you take ownership of your mental and emotional state before external circumstances attempt to dictate it. In summary, the power of spoken words in shaping your day is immense. Your morning words set the tone for your mindset, emotions, and actions. They create neural pathways that influence your beliefs and behaviors, carry vibrations that affect your mood and health, and shape your identity and environment. When you intentionally speak words of faith, gratitude, and purpose to God or the divine first thing in the morning, you activate a creative force that empowers and guides you. This daily practice is a key to living with intention, resilience, and joy, making your words the foundation for a life well lived. Trusting divine guidance for the day ahead is a practice that cultivates a deep sense of peace, confidence, and clarity. When you wake up and consciously choose to trust that you are being led by a higher power, you are opening yourself to a flow of wisdom and support that transcends your own limited understanding. This trust is not passive resignation, but an act of courageous surrender to the belief that there is a greater intelligence at work in your life, orchestrating circumstances and opportunities for your highest good. Embracing this mindset each morning lays a foundation for facing the unknown with grace and resilience, knowing you are never alone and that everything unfolds as it should. Trusting divine guidance is essentially about releasing the need to control every outcome and instead aligning your will with a larger purpose. Many people start their days feeling overwhelmed by the to-do lists, uncertainties, and challenges that lie ahead. They may try to micromanage their lives, fix problems before they arise, or worry incessantly about what might go wrong. While it is natural to plan and prepare, an overemphasis on control creates stress, fear, and frustration. Trusting divine guidance invites you to let go of this tension and acknowledge that some things are beyond your control, and that this is okay. When you place your trust in a higher power, you free yourself from the exhausting burden of trying to manage everything alone. This trust creates an inner calm that is vital for navigating life's complexities. When you start your day believing that you are being guided, your mind relaxes. You become less reactive to stressful situations because you have confidence that there is a purpose even in difficulties. This calmness allows you to think more clearly, make wiser decisions, and act with intention rather than anxiety. Trust becomes a kind of inner compass that steadies you, helping you maintain focus and balance no matter what external storms arise. In practical terms, trusting divine guidance means beginning your day with a moment of quiet reflection or prayer where you invite insight and direction. This can be as simple as saying, "I trust that you will guide my steps today," or "I open my heart to your wisdom and protection." These words are not empty phrases, but declarations of faith that open your awareness to subtle signs, ideas, and inspirations throughout the day. When you trust, you become more attuned to intuition and the gentle nudges that lead you toward the right choices, people, and places. Trusting divine guidance sharpens your ability to recognize these moments and respond with confidence. Another powerful aspect of this trust is how it fosters patience and acceptance. Life does not always unfold according to our timelines or desires. Plans change, delays occur, and unexpected events happen. Without trust, these disruptions can cause frustration and disappointment. But when you trust that divine guidance is at work, you learn to accept these detours as part of a greater plan. You see setbacks as lessons and opportunities for growth rather than failures. This acceptance lightens your emotional load and keeps your spirit buoyant even during challenging times. Trusting divine guidance also nurtures humility. It reminds you that no matter how much knowledge or skill you possess, there is always a greater force with a wider perspective. This humility is liberating because it allows you to acknowledge your limitations without shame or fear. Instead of trying to do everything on your own, you open yourself to receive help and inspiration from unexpected sources. This openness often leads to surprising breakthroughs and blessings that you might have missed if you relied solely on your own efforts. There is also a profound connection between trust and surrender. Trust is the foundation upon which surrender rests. When you trust divine guidance, You willingly surrender your fears, doubts, and control. You let go of resistance and embrace the flow of life. This surrender is an act of faith that creates space for miracles and transformation. It shifts your energy from struggle to flow, from tension to ease. By trusting and surrendering each morning, you set the tone for a day filled with grace and possibility. Spiritually, trusting divine guidance strengthens your relationship with this sacred. It is a daily reminder that you are not separate from the divine, but deeply connected. This connection nurtures your soul, fills you with hope, and renews your sense of purpose. Trusting the divine also encourages you to live with integrity and alignment, making choices that reflect your highest values and calling. When you walk in trust, you are walking a spiritual path, even in the ordinary moments of daily life. The benefits of trusting divine guidance extend beyond your inner world. It positively influences your interactions and relationships. When you trust, you are less likely to project fears or insecurities onto others. You approach relationships with openness and kindness, knowing that connections happen for a reason, and that each encounter is part of your growth. This attitude fosters harmony and understanding, deepening your bonds with family, friends, and colleagues. Trusting divine guidance does not mean ignoring practical wisdom or failing to take responsibility for your life. It is not about passivity or escapism. Instead, it is a balanced approach that combines effort with faith. You do your best in your actions and plans, while trusting that the outcomes are in divine hands. This partnership between human effort and divine support creates a powerful synergy that propels you forward with confidence and peace. In essence, trusting divine guidance for the day ahead is a spiritual practice that transforms how you approach life. It shifts your focus from fear to faith, from struggle to flow, from isolation to connection. Each morning, by consciously choosing to trust, you equip yourself with an invisible yet powerful force that supports your journey. This trust anchors you through uncertainties, illuminates your path, and opens you to the abundant possibilities that each new day holds. As you begin each new day, remember this: the very first words you speak are more than just sounds. They are declarations that set the course of your life. When you wake up and say this to God first, you align yourself with a source of infinite wisdom, strength, and love. You open your heart to guidance that never fails, to peace that surpasses understanding, and to a power that can transform any circumstance. Let your morning words be intentional and filled with faith. Speak with gratitude for the gift of life, with trust in the path laid before you, and with courage to face whatever comes your way. These words are your foundation, your spiritual armor, and your beacon of hope. They have the power to shape your mindset, influence your emotions, and activate blessings beyond what you can imagine. So tomorrow morning, and every morning after that, rise with purpose. Before the noise of the world begins, before the worries creep in, say your words of faith to God first. Declare your trust, your gratitude, your desire for peace and clarity. Watch how your days begin to change, how your spirit grows stronger, and how your life moves in harmony with divine purpose. You are never alone. There is always a loving presence, ready to listen, to guide, and to uplift you. Wake up and say this to God first, and step into each day knowing you are held, protected, and empowered. Thank you for allowing these words to touch your heart today. May your mornings be filled with power, your days with purpose, and your life with abundant blessings.